I'm a journalist all my life. I was the editor of the most progressive Saudi newspaper for a number of years.
Jamal Khashoggi was a celebrated columnist in Saudi Arabia and, he says, a supporter of the government. But he is now self-exiled in the US.
I was ordered to be silent totally. My column was stopped. I even was ordered to stop tweeting.
Speaking at an American think tank shortly after Donald Trump's election victory, Jamal commented that Saudi Arabia should be wary of the new president. The authorities in Riyadh didn't take well to what he had to say. They feared it could affect the warming rapport with the new administration, and so they clamped down on Jamal.
It was an agony and I felt insulted. So I think I did the right thing by leaving, even though it does hurt to leave one country.
But not everyone shares Jamal's concerns about the Trump presidency, some of his friends included.
Oh, they are so in euphoria about it. They are very much enthusiastic, and they think that God has smiled on Saudi Arabia.
This euphoria was evident when President Trump visited Saudi Arabia in May 2017. It was his first foreign visit as US president.
He was received not as a president, but as if he was the King of America. There were banquets, special dance, there were pictures of him in the roads, a huge picture on the facade of the Intercontinental Hotel. We made him feel the most important man in the world, and I'm sure that very much sank into the ego of Donald Trump.
It seems the red carpet treatment has paid off. Saudi Arabia sees Donald Trump as supporting them on some key issues. One of those is the international nuclear accord with Iran, Saudi Arabia's rival in the region. The Saudis hated the agreement which was signed by former President Barack Obama in 2015. Iran agreed to limit its nuclear activities in return for the lifting of economic sanctions, but the Saudis argued that it only enabled Iran to fund militants. Then a year after his visit to Riyadh, Donald Trump pulled out of the deal, much to Saudi Arabia's delight.
They think Donald Trump will support Saudi Arabia no matter what. And Donald Trump has sent many messages that I am by your side, and that could explain this assertive, impulsive Saudi decisions-making process.
Those assertive decisions include Saudi Arabia's war against Houthi rebels in Yemen and the blockade of its neighbour Qatar, which it accuses of funding terrorism. Jamal says that behind the pomp of official visits, there is something else that makes the current relationship special.
It is not like the old-fashioned American establishment. There is a relationship between families, Mohammed bin Salman families and Donald Trump families.
Mohammed bin Salman is the new crown prince of Saudi Arabia and the man effectively calling the shots in the country today. He is young, ambitious, and has a blossoming relationship with President Trump's son-in-law and advisor, Jared Kushner. Last October, Mr. Kushner made an unannounced trip to Riyadh, during which the two 30-somethings are said to have stayed up till the early hours for several nights, swapping stories and planning strategy. There were even rumours of the Crown Prince bragging that Kushner was in his pocket.
I can imagine something of that could have been said, because it is important for Saudi Arabia to feel that General Kushner is in the pocket of Saudi Arabia. If he correctly said that, it means that I have the administration by my side, and I am the most powerful man in the region.
Jamal has a word of caution for the Crown Prince when it comes to his new enthusiasm for the Trump administration.
I don't think Saudi Arabia have had a relationship with any American administration as close as this one. But it is a phase. Donald Trump might lose the election in 2 years. So it is a huge gamble for Saudi Arabia to build on this kind of relationship.
So who is in the driving seat right now when it comes to US-Saudi relations?
Probably Saudi Arabia, not because it is more powerful. It is just because Donald Trump doesn't have a plan, a strategy in the region. But eventually, they both will realize that they are going nowhere. They are running on empty. So what we are doing right now is just putting our eggs in only one basket, and this is too risky.